In this video, I'm going to show you how to use probability and odds in real life to win an Omaze contest. I'll show you what Omaze is, how to calculate your odds of winning, and I'll also show you how I use probability and odds to win a trip to Hawaii. Omaze is a fundraising platform that connects donors to non-profits. The idea is you donate a small amount of money. This can be a few dollars or a few $100s, and you get a certain number of entries for the contest. You can win anything from cars to celebrity dates, cash, houses, and dream trips. These contests get millions of entries, so your odds of winning are usually very small. But you can improve your chances of winning with probability and odds. Let's take a look at how this works. Each person can only get 6,000 entries. But you don't have to enter 6,000 times, you only have to enter 3 times, and here's why. 2,000 entries by donating $150. Do that 3 times and you get the maximum number of entries. I'm assuming that you don't have $450 lying around to spend on entering contests. So look under the entries buttons and you'll see this link, enter without contributing. Click that and you'll be taken to this page. Fill out your info and you're in for free. At this point, you might be wondering if you have to enter 6,000 times to max your odds of winning. The answer is no, and you can find out why in the official rules. Upon receipt of a complete alternative method of entry form, a participant will automatically receive 2,000 entries into that experience. In other words, if you fill out the alternative method of entry form, that's AMOE for short, 3 times, you get the maximum number of entries. That's why Omaze says everyone has an equal chance of winning. You can get that equal chance by maxing out your entries. Before I get into the tips of how to increase your odds of winning, let's get into how odds and probabilities are calculated. Odds is defined as the probability an event will happen divided by the probability it won't happen. In other words, it's a ratio of successes or wins to losses or failures. As an example, if you enter 100 contests and win 20 times, the odds of you winning a contest is 20 out of 80 or 1/4. But when we have a small number of events, like 1 contest, odds and probabilities are almost equal. It's often easier to think about probabilities instead of odds. For this contest example, the probability you'll win is 1/5. That's a 20% chance of a win. So what is the probability of winning an Omaze contest? Well, Omaze doesn't give us any information to work with. The official rules just say that the odds of winning depend on the number of eligible entries received during the entry period. Why do the odds depend on the number of people entering? Let's take a look at a quick example. I'm going to assume that everyone maxes out their 6,000 entries either by donating $450 or by filling out the AMOE form 3 times. Let's say you have one $100,000 prize up for grabs. You enter and so do 4 other people. In other words, there are 5 contestants and you are one of them. The contest closes and a winner is drawn randomly. As this is completely random, everyone has an equal chance of winning. This equal chance is
important because that small nugget of information allows us to calculate some probabilities.
If 5 people enter, including you, your odds are 1 to 4. The probability you'll win is 1 out of 5, that's 20%. If 50 people were to enter, your odds are 1 to 49. And the probability you'll win is 1 out of 50, that's 2%. But if 5,000 people enter, your odds decrease to 1 to 4,999. And your probability of a win is 1 out of 5,000. That's 0.02% chance of a win.
So the big question is, how many people enter these contests? We need to know that in order to figure out our probability of winning. For that, we need a little detective work. Omaze doesn't release any figures about how many people entered their contests, either by donating or by filling out that AMOE form. So let's take a look at a couple of contests and see if we can figure out what our probabilities might be.
It goes without saying that Star Wars is really popular, so let's take a look at the popularity of an Omaze contest featuring Star Wars. Forbes reports that Win a Walk-On Part in Star Wars The Force Awakens raised a staggering $5.3 million. For comparison, let's take a look at something more low-key, like surfing with celebs Kelly Slater and Shane Dorian. You might have to scroll through some results before you get some relevant information, but I found what I was looking for on this site. The Inertia reports that the surfer's most recent Omaze campaign raised $75,000.
Apparently a lot more people want to walk the red carpet instead of going surfing. In fact, Star Wars raised over 70 times the amount of money that the surfing contest raised. But how many people does that equate to? Well, we don't know because Omaze doesn't publish those figures.
Let's assume 50% of people donated and 50% entered via the AMOE.
If we also assume that most people are broke and they're going to enter the minimum, that's $10, then we divide the amount raised by $10 to get some rough numbers. A couple of notes about the method I'm using. In statistical analysis, if you don't know what proportion of a population does what, you use 50%. Secondly, by using the same guesstimate, we're making our comparisons across all contests fair.
For a Star Wars part, $5.3 million divided by 10 is 530,000 people who donated. If we add another 530,000 possible AMOEs, the total number of people entered is over 1 million people.
That shouldn't come as a surprise because lots of people, including me, wouldn't mind walking onto a Star Wars set.
The surfing contest raised $75,000. Divide that by $10 a person and you get 7,500 people. Doubling that to allow for AMOE entries gives us 15,000 people. As probabilities we get for Star Wars, you have a 1 out of 1 million chance of winning. But for the surfing trip to California, you have a 1 out of 15,000 chance.
The surfing contest has much better odds. This gives us a pretty good idea about the overall probability of winning an Omaze contest. Depending on the contest, your odds could be as good as 2,000 to 1. This assumes that you max out your entries and you get a friend or two to enter as well. Good luck! If you enjoyed the video, please subscribe to my channel and I'll see you in the next video.